currently on the planet, relationships are not going well. Hello! In today's bonus video, I am joined once again by Colin, who is one of my best friends, and he is an energy healer and an Akashic Records reader, and there's something he would like to say.
In my journey, there's two things that I see really commonly and an issue in relationships, and those two things are communication and really knowing what you want. I'll touch on the knowing what you want thing first. And I'm not talking about these huge lists that are, 50 things long. I mean, you can have those lists and that's fine. Some core values that are really important to you. Maybe having kids. It's important to know what those are so that you can, which goes into the next thing, communicate with your partner. We're so worried about what the other person thinks, or, are they going to go away because you really like them? But if you truly communicate from your heart, let's say you communicate your wants, like, oh, I want this, and then somebody leaves your life, well, that is what you wanted. It's not going to hurt as bad, because you're like, oh, they did not want what I wanted, and I communicated very clearly. When a fight happens, now everybody handles conflict differently. Let's say you might need a day or 2 days or even 30 days. As somebody who has been anxious, or at times in my life I've been avoided, just getting that communication from somebody like, oh, I need a couple days. Oh, okay, perfect, right? Even something simple like that generally helps a lot of relationships. I had a male friend of mine about 2 months ago, and he almost broke up with his girlfriend, and I said, well, why don't you talk to her? Tell her what, and what's crazy is she was worried about the same thing. They were both worried about the same thing. He almost ended the relationship over it, and they're still very happy now, right? I think that communication is a skill in society that's lacking, and it's hurting relationships in a big way. Because I see a lot of stuff in the world where one little thing that you didn't communicate that crossed your boundaries, and the other person didn't even know what your boundary was, right? But let's say I do something and it hurts the person I'm dating, but they never tell me. I'm clueless. I think everything's going good, right? And there's a way to communicate in a way where, they don't feel attacked. Like, hey, like when you did this thing, like that kind of hurt my feelings. Just a little bit of communication can go a long way, and then you don't build up that resentment, because I see a lot of marriages after 10 years, 5 years, where both people just weren't telling the other person, and they're just like, well, there's no fixing this. Like, that's just who they are, right?
If you don't say it, they won't know. I think about my own friends, and most of them know that I have some telepathic ability, and they'll be like in a relationship and they'll have a conflict and they'll be like, Maya Joy, tell me what my partner's thinking. Are they thinking this? Are they thinking this? Are they thinking this? Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. And I say, you do realize you can ask them, right? Here's what they're thinking, so here's your preview, but like, go knock on their door and say, hey, I'm feeling stressed. I don't know what's on your mind. Can you just tell me what you're thinking? Communication is key. And staying connected to what you want. Even if you've been with a partner for 20 years, or you've been together for 3 years, or you've been together for 8 years, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes we can get into habits and we forget what we wanted in the first place. Why did we want to be in a relationship? What was that all about? Was it about growing together? Was it about building a healthy life? Was it about building a family? Was it about making memories? I mean, what was it about? Because when it gets hard, it can be easy to forget.